Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jackson.
I'm Top Notch Sports. Today, we're going to go over the New Orleans Saints off-season salary review, where we discuss this guy right here, Sean Payton, and the New Orleans Saints financial situation, which is not great. Again, this team got screwed a few years. They were chasing that ring. The referees did screw this team with a pass interference call, but you got to move on and move forward. You Saints fans, I honestly feel bad for you guys. That play should have been called, but look, you got to move forward now, and the cap situation is not great. That's the truth. You guys are the worst in the NFL right now at negative $70.8 million, but we're going to discuss the free agency situation, the offseason in general, and the mock draft, what we got you guys currently doing. So let's hop right into it, where Jackson will break it down for you guys. Go ahead.
What's going on, guys? So you guys are negative $70.8 million, worst in the league currently. This is remember, these are the guys currently under contract going into 2021. When we go over to notable losses, you'll see who will not be there in 2021. Green is you cut and you save, red is you cut and you lose. So we look at this team, this team is still built to get there. I mean, you look at, it's a very, very complete team. And I'm going to start and go and say, this is a pretty solid offensive line. You got rookie Cesar Ruiz playing right guard. Not a great year, but not a bad year. And then Andres Pino, some struggles there. But you look at the tackles, I think, offensive tackle, one of the most important positions on the field. You got Teron Armstead, very, very solid when he's on the field. And then Ryan Ramczak's been holding down that right side very well the past couple years. Michael Thomas, had some injury problems, missed most of the year. But when he's on the field, again, he's a beast. Emmanuel Sanders came to New Orleans this past offseason, also very, very solid. Alvin Kamara, again, this man is an absolute unit. One of the best running backs in the league. Had a 6-touchdown game this year. The only question mark on the offensive side of the ball is Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill had 4 spot starts this season in relief of Drew Brees, who had some injury problems. Went 3-1 of those starts. He averaged about a little over 200 passing yards a game. Had a pretty solid completion percentage. Some people are knocking on this guy when you look in depth to it. Maybe he doesn't deserve some of that he was getting. Go over the defensive side of the ball. Very, very solid defense. Starting with the front four here. Cam Jordan, beast off the edge. David Anomayeda, or however you say it, butcher me for that one. It's on me. Very solid front four you got there. You go over the linebacker core to Mario Davis. Very solid. He's been solid for a very long time. Quan Alexander, he's taking out $13.2 million. Again, if you were to cut him, it's not going to do much. But again, when he's healthy, he's very solid. Malcolm Jenkins came back to New Orleans past offseason on a 4-year deal. Very solid safety. You got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who played a lot more corner safety. He was kind of all over the place. So you got a solid team, still very complete. It's definitely got the team to get to the Super Bowl, which I see what they do with all this negative cap space they have.
Absolutely. And again, when you look at this offense, like Jackson said, solid offensive line, right? Very solid offensive line. You got good weapons, right? Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders played great this year. Adam Troutman, this guy was my favorite tight end coming out of last year's draft. I think he proved that he may just be that. He looked very solid this year for you guys. He can block, he can receive. He's a very good tight end all around. I like this kid a lot. Taysom Hill is the biggest question mark, like Jackson said. Didn't play bad when he came in. Needs to be able to become a better thrower, right? Alvin Kamara did not have a huge spot on this offense when Taysom Hill came in, so he's going to have to figure out how to get Alvin Kamara more involved. But you got to love this duo. I mean, they can be really good if Sean Payton figures out how to use both of them in the backfield. Marcus Davenport, really good edge rusher in my opinion. I'm a fan of Davenport, always have been. Marshawn Lattimore, I think one of the best young cornerbacks in the league. Demario Davis, like Jackson said, this kid is an absolute stud. He's been that for so long now. And Malcolm Jenkins back here, Sean Payton said not keeping him around the entire time was one of the biggest mistakes of his career. Signed, I'm pretty sure it was a 4-year deal last season, and he's back. And you got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back here playing the safety position. I think he played a little bit of nickel corner this year as well. So we'll have to wait and see what they do. But again, a few pieces they got to upgrade, of course. Middle linebacker maybe is definitely one of them. But let's hop right into the notable losses where we show you who is currently not under contract. Jackson, go ahead.
All right, here we're at the noble losses screen. First things first, they're losing tight end Jared Cook. His expected deal is a 1-year, $4 million, played 43.3% of the snaps. Losing left guard Nick Easton. His expected deal is 1 year, $1.4 million, played 52.2% of snaps. Losing a cornerback P.J. Williams. His expected contract is 1 year, $2 million, played 47.7% of snaps. Losing stud safety Marcus Williams. His expected deal is 5 years, $47.5 million, played 84.1% of snaps. Losing linebacker Alex Anzalone. His expected deal is 2 years, $5 million, played 50.2% of snaps. Losing breakout edge Trey Hendrickson. His expected deal is 3 years, $30.9 million, played 53.3% of the snaps. And losing quarterback Jameis Winston, his expected deal is 1 year, $7 million, played 5% of the snaps this season.
Now, typically, you want to bring back the guys that play a high percentage of snaps because these are the guys that come in and they're familiar faces. They have continuity, chemistry with the team. But unfortunately for you guys, and again, Saints fans, I'm a fan of you guys. I'm a fan of your fan base. But I'm going to be honest, these other fan bases that I've been doing, they dislike the video because we're not making a lot of moves. Well, you guys are in such negative cap space. Don't dislike the video because we can't make moves. But let's look and see what you guys can do. And that's what we're going to do on the next slide, show you what we can do. So a lot of these guys are not being able to bring back. I know a lot of people are saying Jameis Winston, but negative $70 million in cap space is really not going to be able to make that happen. So let's go to the next slide. Here's your potential targets. You guys are negative $70.8 million. You estimated cuts, nobody. And here's the reason why. Go back to this slide right here, negative $70.8 million. You can cut every single green player on this slide, every single person, and you still wouldn't be in the positives. I mean, I'm just doing quick math in my head. I think that you would still be very, very, very short of even splitting even. So why cut anybody if you're still not going to be able to go out and make signings? You can restructure a few contracts, so on and so forth. But again, you're negative $70.8 million. You're not going to be able to do much this offseason. So we got you guys not cutting nobody, because why cut nobody if you're not going to be able to ultimately sign nobody? So we also got you guys not signing nobody. So that means you guys have to nail this draft. You got a really good lineup. Like we just showed you guys before, we think that this is one of the most complete rosters in the NFL. So what are we going to do? Your team needs quarterback. I think you guys are going to wait it out. I don't see you guys drafting a quarterback late in the first round. You never rush a quarterback selection. If you can't get one that you like, you're just going to have to wait it out. And that's what I think you guys are going to do. In the first round, you see down here, we got you guys drafting Dylan Moses. That's going to fill that middle linebacker need. This guy had an Achilles injury, I'm pretty sure, or maybe he tore his ACL, one of the two. I kind of forget, to be honest with you. Don't knock me for it. He was supposed to be coming out of last year's draft. I thought that he was the best linebacker coming out of last year's draft. Waited another year, got hurt. I think this kid is a very complete linebacker. Comes in, makes hard hits, man. He fills up the lanes. This guy right here, I think, can be a playmaker. We'll have to see how he comes off the injury. Could it be a little bit of a reach in the first round? It might be, depending on how the teams think he's going to be coming off the injury. But I think this guy is absolutely phenomenal, and I would be willing to take him in the first round to fill up your middle linebacker need. In the second round, we got you guys taking Tutu Atwell. Again, another little bit of a reach, but I think this guy runs routes very fluidly. He can play the slot wide receiver position. Right now, you guys have, as you see, Tre'Quan Smith, who's been playing good for you guys. But again, not a bad idea to get young too. I mean, you're losing Emmanuel Sanders probably in the next few years. This guy's not getting any younger at all. So you bring in someone like Tutu Atwell in the second round. I think that he can fill in a future need for you guys. I think that he's a really fluid route runner. Gets in and out of breaks very fluidly. So I like Tutu Atwell the little bit that I did watch him. The next guy, I'm sorry if I butcher his name, Israel Mukamua. This guy is a cornerback. He's 6'3", can play outside, slot, play safety. He can even play linebacker. This guy might be one of the most versatile players in this year's draft, Israel Mukamu. I think that the little bit that I watched, I still got a lot more scouting analysis to do. We'll have that in a few weeks from now, so be sure to stay tuned and watch that and the mock drafts coming up after that. But right now, this guy right here, give Dennis Allen a few pieces. This kid could be a really good cornerback guy. You can play him in the outside, inside, slot, so you can put Chauncey Gardner back to safety, whatever you want to do, or you can move him to safety if you really want to. And last but not least, in the third round, remember, these two are compensatory picks. Talonu Hufanga. I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but he's a strong safety. Again, this guy's very versatile. He can play strong safety. He can play linebacker. He's a total versatile guy. Let's get some versatility on the Saints defense. I'm a big fan of this kid too. Two really versatile defensive weapons that you guys can get in the third round. So let's look at now at the last slide, which is going to be your 2021 expected starters. Go ahead, Jackson.
All right, this is your 2021 expected starters. We'll take a look at the offense real quick. Not much there. Just adding Tutu Atwell, giving Taysom Hill another guy to throw the ball to. Why not help him out a little bit? You know, you like Nick said earlier, you want to develop him more as a pocket passer, get him the ball out of his hands, get Alvin Kamara more involved. And if you have another weapon at wide receiver, it's really going to help him get the ball in those guys' hands and help Alvin Kamara out as well. So remember, this blue color is the guys he's drafted, and then the yellow is the placeholders. You look at this defense, really address, like Nick said, we got some versatile guys. We got Israel over here, versatile corner, big guy like Nick said, can play everywhere. And then Hufanga, again, I read stuff. They're saying this guy's a defensive Taysom Hill. So basically, he can play everywhere as well. Very, very versatile, both these guys. You got Dylan Moses. Before his Achilles injury, excuse me. This kid was an absolute stud. Helped that linebacker core out just a little bit. Hopefully he bounced back and has a great season. Quan Alexander and Taysom Hill, though. Those are guys that are role pieces right now. Again, like Nick said, we may want to wait it out for a QB. This is not your year to get a quarterback. So you let Taysom Hill help him out a little bit, get a guy like Tutu Atwell, and help him out a little bit. Maybe get another weapon later in the draft for him. But if we look at our reserves in the bottom left, you still want to get an outside linebacker. That's why Quan Alexander is yellow. Maybe get some O-line depth for depth purposes and a D lineman for depth purposes. You don't necessarily need to plug those guys in, but it's just kind of like a depth thing. I really do like the Saints team. Like we were saying, we've been preaching the video. This is a very, very complete team. They are definitely not out of the Super Bowl mix. You know, with a young Carolina team and a Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Bucks team, this is going to be a tough division. But I would 100% not count the Saints out and Sean Payton to win this division this year.
Absolutely. Again, I think he actually tore his ACL. I'm sorry about that. I'm pretty sure Dylan Moses tore his ACL. Look at this team. This is solid. I'm not going to say you make a bunch of cuts. I know people are going to be mad that we don't have Jameis Winston here. I think Drew Brees is going to officially retire. That's why we don't have him here either. I don't think you guys rush a quarterback. Maybe mock drafts have you guys taking a young quarterback. That might be fun. That might be interesting to you guys. I don't feel like you guys rush a quarterback. I don't think Mac Jones is going to fall to you. I think he's going to get chosen by around the 15s, 20 again. We'll have mock drafts coming up after that. But look at this team. Solid offensive line. Really good tight end. Great receivers. Bringing in Tutu Atwell as a future piece on this team. Israel as a future cornerback. I mean, and Janoris Jenkins is not going to be around that much longer. Malcolm Jacobs is getting up there in age. Hufanga is nice to add. You bring in Dylan Moses to lock down this middle linebacker position with Quan Alexander and Demario Davis on the outside. See if Quan Alexander go back to original form. Look, this team right here. I mean, people might say, oh, let's cut Quan Alexander, save that money. There's no reason to. There's absolutely no reason to. You'll save $13.2 million and still be what? Negative $57 million? Is that worth it? You're not going to be able to bring in somebody. So just keep them there for depth purposes. If you want to start somebody else that you have on the roster already, go ahead and do it. We're going to still draft an outside linebacker, maybe draft an offensive lineman, a D lineman for depth purposes, right? We already drafted these guys. Your quarterback position, if Taysom Hill can get solid, this guy can do anything like Sean Payton thought he could do when he signed him to that huge deal, $16 million a year. I think this team could be solid. I think this team can make a playoff push. It's not let's make him a pocket passer, but it's let's make him let's work on his mechanics to be a better thrower of the football, and let's use his legs as another weapon. You got to be a thrower of the football if you want to be a quarterback. No running quarterback has ever succeeded purely running the ball. You got to be able to throw, and I think Taysom Hill has the ability to throw the ball. He just needs to work on it all offseason long, and then that will open up Kamara. That will open up Traquan Smith, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Adam Troutman, Tutu Atwell. This offensive line is going to be able to hold up. And what if not? If it starts collapsing on the outside, he's able to step up in the inside and burst out. This defense is solid. You got Cam Jordan coming in around the outside, Marcus Davenport coming on. You got Malcolm Brown and David coming in through the middle. You got really good corners, in my opinion, especially if you're bringing this Israel kid. Dylan Moses locking down that middle. I'm excited for this team. And I think Sean Payton, like Jackson said, can make a push into the playoffs. So don't count this team out just yet. I think they can definitely make a push. Super Bowl, that's tough to say. But at least get back to the playoffs is definitely a possibility in a tough NFC South. That's all from us from Top Notch Sports. We'll see you guys soon. I'm Nick.
I'm Jackson.
We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are
Built Beck.
See you guys soon. Peace.